Hey guys, what's going on? Today I'm going to be going over how to play Ebox on Anubis. I know a lot of people call this connector or dark as well, but there is an Ebox in here and that's what it's called in NA, so that's what I'm going to call it in the video. The first thing you need to know is how to stop the tees from rushing into Ebox at the start of the round. There are some rounds where you can just bounce a flash at the start and then peek into canals and try and catch anyone running into the water, but of course this is risky since the tees will always beat you here if they have the best spawn. So if you know they're not on great money and maybe you get a supporting flash from your teammate from mid over the bridge, then you can go for that peek. But the only safe way to stop this is by just coming here and waiting to see if the tees throw a smoke towards Ebox, and if they don't, just drop your own smoke. That way you can sit here and hold behind the smoke and make sure they don't rush in. Or just come here with a molly, and if the tees throw any sort of utility or your mid player calls they're rushing fast canals, you can just drop your molly and then hold it like that. And even if there isn't a sound cue towards canals, you can just throw your molly at around 143, 142 on the clock, because that's the timing of when the tees are going to start running into Ebox. Now standing inside of Ebox and just dueling to the death here is pretty bad, because at any moment the tees can just swing into you and get the kill. You're going to be pretty pre-aimable and it's going to be a hard fight for you to win. So I wouldn't really ever suggest you just sitting in here alone playing any sort of these angles and just fighting to the death, because the most common nade that the tees will throw is the deep molly into Ebox. If you're playing inside Ebox, you're just going to get burned out and killed, and playing anywhere inside of Ebox over here will just get burned out and you're going to have to fall back. So really your main job is just to play back, jiggle with utility out, and then if any utility is thrown into Ebox, let's say the molly I just showed before, then you just drop your own molly or drop a smoke on the end of Ebox. It's really about an exchange of utility, so if they throw utility into Ebox, you counter with your own utility, but you have to understand how to use your utility properly. So if they throw their molly into Ebox and then you throw your own molly, since the CT molly fades faster than the T molly, your molly is going to fade before theirs. That means they could peek in while their molly is still up. So if you drop your molly off of their molly, towards the end of your molly, drop your smoke right on top, and then you can hold the smoke and then walk into Ebox after their molly fades. Or if you don't even have your molly anymore, as soon as they throw their molly on top of Ebox, just drop your smoke instead. Now they can just try and disrespect your smoke and swing through, and if you don't get the kill initially, you're gonna have to fall back, but that doesn't mean we have to give Ebox entirely. What we can do is just fall back to site and throw this really nice flash from back site. You just aim at this corner, a little bit to the left on this line right here, left click throw the flash. This flash lands like this into Ebox, and you can take the fight back in, re-aggressing and blinding anyone staying inside of Ebox. I'll show you how the T gets blind. I'll just throw it one more time. Flash like this, run in, peek, full blind, and you're gonna get the kill. And bonus, your smoke here will still be up, so anyone on that side of Ebox won't be able to play anti-flash and get the trade. And if your B anchor knows this flash, it's even better, because if he's ever just jiggling back here, he can just come over and throw the flash for you if you're playing closer. That way you won't have to run across and make a sound cue, and you'll just be able to peek in right away. Real quick, before we get into the rest of the video, let's hear a quick word from today's sponsor, SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is an automated trading site that allows you to take some of your old skins and trade them in for some new ones. There are a ton of skins on the site, but if you're looking for something specific, you can use the filter to find the skin that you're looking for. And when you're making your first trade on the site, make sure to use my code GRAPE for a bonus of up to $5 for free. If you see a skin on the site that you want and you don't have one of equal value, you can also deposit money with a 30% bonus plus an extra 5% if you use my code GRAPE at checkout. And even if you don't have anything to trade, they do free giveaways every single day, so there's literally nothing to lose by joining SkinsMonkey. So just make sure to use the link in my description and have fun trading. Now another thing that tees will do at the start of the round is just throwing a smoke into Ebox right away. So some rounds the tees will throw a smoke that just lands here at the end of Ebox, letting them get close into canals and then coming up and throwing the molly later to take control. So a couple things you can do at the start of the round is if they throw their smoke, obviously don't throw your smoke or your molly because it's just going to get wasted. You can HE the smoke at the start of the round to take a peek towards Ebox, but it is a little bit risky. So what's usually best is trying to hold the smoke for as long as possible and then on the fade drop your own smoke. But of course if they throw this molly, you're always going to have to fall back because just smoking this molly and trying to run through isn't really going to work. So always look for ways to re-aggress into Ebox after, like I showed with this flash. Or if you have to give Ebox entirely, which is very possible, you can always throw a smoke like this to stop them from getting into the site and then re-aggress B main with your teammate. Since the T's already have so much control at the start of the round, having Ebox control is really important for the B players. So even some rounds your B anchor will just drop his utility over to you, his smoke or his molly, so you can just stuff Ebox for as long as possible and maintain the control. So if you lose this control, you have to take space somewhere else on the map. If you lose Ebox and the T's already have B main, they already have close mid, they have A main control, now they have Ebox control, you're just going to lose a round if you sit back on site. So you're always going to have to look for a way to re-aggress on some part of the map. That's not always going to be you, it could also be your A main players or your mid players re-aggressing, and then you're just playing back and stuffing them from hitting the site. But just make sure you're never giving all of the control all over the map. For example, you can have one of your teammates come back here and throw a flash like this into B main. You just stand in this corner, aim right here, W tap jump throw. This flash will blind anyone standing within B main. And then you and your teammate can push towards B main with the flash and take control this way. One more thing I forgot to mention is that the tees will sometimes throw a smoke that lands here instead of Ebox. So when you see the smoke coming in, you can just drop your own smoke towards canals, then just disrespect their smoke and hold the other side of your smoke. And if you think they might have been fast and coming into Ebox, you can just drop your nade like this to clear first instead of just running through their smoke dry. Now you can get spammed and they can flash through, so this can be risky. But if you don't want to disrespect their smoke and you don't want to play here and potentially get spammed, that's fine. It's still good to drop your smoke to try and see if they will respect it. But when you're going back into Ebox later, if you are, make sure you understand that they can be in this corner because there's a chance that they just walk through your smoke entirely. So you can just wait for all these smokes to fade and do the same flash I showed before to regress into Ebox. Another thing, if a team ever throws a smoke to take Ebox and they're kind of throwing it a lot of the rounds, be aware that they might be conditioning you for a B hit later in the game. Since one of the most annoying angles for people when they're popping B on T side is someone playing within Ebox and fighting like this, having a smoke here to cover this when you're running out of B main is really strong. So teams will throw this and condition you to thinking that it's only for them taking Ebox, and then you'll see this smoke and say, I have to deny Ebox, I have to throw my smoke, I have to go through and hold this. But then you'll do that and they're gonna pop B and you're completely shut out of the round. So make sure you're aware that you're not always doing the same thing and fighting through your smoke every single round, because you might get caught off by a pop like that. Alright, that's basically all I wanted to go over in today's video. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment down below, check out my Discord, or leave a comment in my Twitch chat when I'm live. I stream every day, so make sure to stop by if you get the chance. I also offer coaching and demo reviews, so if you're interested in that, there is a link in the description. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope this video can help you in your games. See ya.